Okay, friends, so let's move on. Starting with the first question. So, the first five questions are paragraph based MCQ question. So, you need to read out this paragraph and answer question number 1 to 5 based on this paragraph. So, let's start reading that particular paragraph. So, Mr. Harshit, a resident Indian, is in retail business in Mumbai, and his turnover for the financial year 1920 was 8 crores. All right. Now, he regularly purchases goods from another resident, Mr. Pranav, who a wholesaler in Mumbai, and the aggregate payments made by Mr. Harshit to Mr. Pranav during the financial year 2021 is 80 lakh. That is 20 lakhs on 8/5/2020, 25 lakhs on 27/8/2020, and 20 lakhs on 18/10/2020, and 15 lakh on 11/2/2021. So this 80 lakhs split up is given separately 20, 25, 20, and 15. All right. So Mr. Pranav's total turnover for the financial year 1920 was 11 crores. So the question says Mr. Harshit is purchasing something from Mr. Pranav, and Mr. Pranav is the seller and Mr. Harshit is the buyer in this scenario. Moving forward, Mr. Pranav paid 5 lakhs on 1/9/2020 to Messrs. Thomas Cook for a holiday package to Singapore for a week with his family, comprising of his wife and 2 children, being twins aged 22 years in the last week of September. And he also took an education loan of 15 lakhs on 1/2/2021 from State Bank of India, Madam Kama Road, Mumbai, for his son's 2-year Master of Public Administration program in Columbia University, USA, and remitted the said amount through the same bank, which is an authorized dealer under liberalized remittance scheme of RBI. From this itself, it's very clear this question is in relation to TCS, especially those new TCS provision which came as a part of February 2020 annual budget. All right, let's continue this paragraph and get into the questions. So, moving forward, his daughter's MBA in a low state university, USA, has remitted 12 lakhs on 15/2/2021. So he remitted again for a daughter's studies in USA out of his personal savings through a Bank of India, Bandra branch, Mumbai, which is also an authorized dealer under LRS. And Mr. Pranav also remitted again 6 lakhs, that is on 28th March 2021, out of his personal savings under LRS through Bank of India, Bandra branch, as a gift to his sister residing in London on occasion of her 50th birthday. All right. On the basis of the facts given above, choose the most appropriate answer from question number 1 to question number 5. So from 1 to 5, you are supposed to pick the correct answer from the alternatives given below. All right, moving on, let's read question number 1 and let's understand what exactly is the scenario in question number 1. So, are provisions of TDS or TCS under Income Tax Act 1961 attracted in respect of purchase or sale of transaction between Mr. Harshit and Mr. Pranav? If so, what is the quantum of tax to be deducted or collected for the previous year 2021? So the question is a very simple question. It says, does in this transaction, that means the transaction between Mr. Harshit and Pranav, that buyer and the seller transaction, is there any applicability of TDS or TCS? If yes, then what is its applicability? That's what the question is all about. So let's go back and read that particular area again. So the question is in relation to the first paragraph. So Mr. Harshit is a resident Indian. So we will note down all the relevant information. Mr. Harshit, I will write H. He's a resident Indian and he purchased goods of value 80 lakhs in the previous year 2020-21, where his total turnover in the financial year 1920 is around, what is the total turnover in 1920? It is 8 crores. It is rupees 8 crores. All right. So he purchased goods from Mr. Pranav, right? So Mr. Pranav is the seller here. Mr. P, that means Pranav is the seller here. And the seller's turnover in the financial year 2019-20, seller's turnover in 1920 is also stated in the question. And what is his turnover? His turnover in 1920 was 11 crores. So it is 11 crores. So hope you remember, under section 206C1H, under section 206C1H, there is a new provision with effect from 1st October 2020 that it says if there is a seller who is selling goods more than 50 lakhs to a single buyer, then that seller, while collecting that sales amount, is supposed to collect an additional 1% on the transaction value as TCS. And as a part of this COVID pandemic, that 1%, that means 0.1% rate has been reduced to 0.075% for all those transactions which happened between 14th May 2020 to 31st March 2021. Hope you remember. There is an overall reduction in the TDS as well as TCS rates. So this is in relation to TCS under section 206C1H. And under 206C1H, there is one more threshold given in the Act. And what is that? If the seller's turnover, total turnover in the preceding financial year, if it is less than or equal to 10 crores, then TCS is not required to be collected by the seller. You know what is TCS? What is TCS? Sellers, while selling certain specified goods under 206C of Income Tax Act, is required to collect an additional amount over and above the sales value as TCS, that is called as tax collected at source. All right. And as a part of Feb 2020 annual budget, a new TCS provision under 206C1H has been introduced, that is for selling goods of value more than 50 lakhs in a financial year. Seller, if his turnover in the preceding financial year is more than 10 crore, is required to collect an additional 0.1% on the transaction value as TCS. All right. And now let's get into the question. The total amount of sales value is around 80 lakhs here. So TCS is definitely required to be collected on that particular 80 lakhs. So let's see how it works. So over and above 50 lakhs, TCS under section 206C1H is required to collect on the amount which is over and above 50 lakhs. So in the year, the total sales value was 80 lakhs. So over and above 50 lakhs means additional 30 lakhs is there. So on this 30 lakhs, normal rate is 0.1%, but due to this COVID, the rate has been reduced to 0.075%. And the net TCS which is required to be collected will be on 30 lakhs into 0.075%, that will be 2,250 rupees is the additional amount. Over and above this 80 lakh, seller is required to collect 2,250 rupees as TCS from the buyer. So this is the answer. And now let's read that options given in the MCQ, because anyways it is an MCQ, so we need to choose the right option. Option number A, no TDS TCS provisions are attracted. It is wrong. Option B, yes, Mr. Harshit has to deduct tax. It is not TDS, it is TCS. Yes, option C, yes, Mr. Harshit has to collect tax at 0.075% on 30 lakhs. That means 15 lakhs on 18/10/2020 and on 15 lakhs on 11/2/2021. That is the breakup on which TCS is required to be collected. What is that 15 and 15? It says whenever the total sales value exceeds 50 lakhs, 50 lakhs in a financial year, this 206C1H will be applicable. So the split up of 80 lakhs is given. On the first 20 lakhs on 8/5/2020, TCS is not required. On the next 24 lakhs on 27/8/2020, again TCS is not required. On the next 20 lakhs, so 20 plus 20, it is 45. Then on the next 20, over and above 50, that means in the first 20, next 25, again 5 more lakhs. On that remaining 15 lakhs, out of the third installment of 20, for that remaining 15, TCS is required to be collected on 0.075%. And again, on the final installment of 15 lakhs, which is paid on 11/2/2021, seller is required to collect additional 0.075% as TCS. So on total 30 lakhs, 15 plus 15, 30 lakhs, TCS is required to be collected, and the right option is option number C. Option C is the right answer for that particular question. Now, and again option D, let's read it for the sake of information purpose. Yes, Mr. Pranav has to collect TCS at 0.1% of 30 lakhs. So normal rate is 0.1, but due to this COVID pandemic, it has been reduced to 0.075%. So the right answer is C itself. All right, I hope it is clear for you. Now, moving forward, friends, moving forward to question number 2 based on the paragraph, it is, in case of failure to furnish PAN by the deductee or collectee as required based on the answer to question number 1. That means, say under Income Tax Act, there is a mandate. The seller is required to collect tax, and the seller is supposed to, and the buyer is supposed to give out his PAN number to the seller, because TCS is normally collected and paid based on PAN. All right. So the buyer at the time of paying out the TCS is supposed to give his PAN number. All right. If the PAN is not given, if the PAN number is not given, then there will be a higher rate of TCS will be applicable. That's what the question is all about. So based on the answer to question number 1 above, what would be the applicable rate of TDS or TCS? So if the PAN is not given by the buyer to the seller, what will be the rate of TCS? That is question number 2. So under 206C1H itself, in case of non-furnishing of PAN or Aadhaar number, because instead of PAN we can give out our Aadhaar number if the PAN is not available. That is called as interchangeability of PAN and Aadhaar. Hope you remember. All right. So if the PAN number is not available, you can give out your Aadhaar number. If both are not given, then by the buyer to the seller, then the tax is required to be collected at a higher rate. And what is that rate? The Act says either twice the rate specified in 206C1H. That means 0.1% into 2, twice the rate. That is 0.2%, or it is actually or 1%, whichever is higher. So whichever is higher means 1%. So what is the answer? The TCS, if the PAN is not given by the buyer to the seller, then the rate of TDS will be obviously what? Either twice the rate of the twice the normal rate, or 1%, whichever is higher. So in this case, it will be obviously 1%, and the answer to the question will be answer D, or the option to the question will be option D. All right. So option D is the right answer if TCS is not given by the buyer to the seller under 206C1H. Hope you are able to follow. Again, moving on to question number 3. What is question number 3? Is Thomas Cook required to collect tax at source on receipt of 5 lakhs from Mr. Pranav for holiday package to Singapore? If so, what is the amount of tax to be collected? So it is based on the next paragraph. So the first paragraph, all the questions we have answered. So moving on, Mr. Pranav paid 5 lakhs on 1/9/2020 to Messrs. Thomas Cook for a holiday package to Singapore for a week with his family, comprising of his wife, 2 children, being twins and aged 22 years in the last week of September. So we will note this down. Mr. P, that means, sorry, Mr. H, that means Harshit, has made a payment to Messrs. Thomas Cook. I'll call him as TC. All right. So TC, an amount of 5 lakhs. They have paid an amount of 5 lakh for what? For the purpose of a holiday tour package, right? So we will call it as a foreign holiday tour. Foreign holiday tour. The payment is made on 1/9/2020. So now what is the question? The question says, on this payment, what is the amount of TCS to be collected by the Thomas Cook? So the question, it is in relation to again TCS. What is the amount of TCS to be collected by the Thomas Cook? That is the question. So this question is in relation to section 206C1G. And what is 206C1G? If a person is making a payment through a liberalized remittance scheme of RBI or for a foreign tour package, then the person who makes the payment is supposed to give out an extra amount as what? As TCS2. And what is the rate of tax there? The rate of tax as per the provisions of income tax would be, it is 5%. All right. So under 206C1G, the rate of tax would be 5%. And who is supposed to pay this? The person who transfers the amount. Say simple example, Mr. H. Mr. H, while transferring an amount of 5 lakhs to Thomas Cook, that means a foreign tour operator, is supposed to pay a TCS as well at the rate 5% on this 5 lakh. All right, so the Mrs. Thomas Cook is supposed to collect an additional amount of 5 lakhs on, 5% on this 5 lakh as TCS under section 206C 1G, which is introduced as a part of February 2020 annual budget. All right, and a detailed video has been given in my YouTube channel. Hope you have gone through that particular video. I've clearly explained what is 206C 1G in that video. It is called a TCS on LRS. So you can check that too. Now, moving forward, the question is all about, does Thomas Cook is required to collect TCS here? Now, this question, this provision, that is 206C 1G, is applicable with effect from 1st October 2020 only. So all the payments which is made before 1st October 2020, TCS is not required to be collected under 206C 1G. And now I think you got the answer. What is the answer for this question? Since the payment is given on 1st September 2020, Thomas Cook is not required to collect TCS under 206C 1G. Friends, if the payment instead of 1st September, if it has been made on 1st October, then definitely TCS should be collected by Thomas Cook at the rate of 5%. All right. Here, TCS is not required to be collected. Why? Because again, this particular provision is with effect from 1st October 2020 only. So it is out of the preview of TCS. Now let's check the answer. So option 1 says TCS provisions are not retracted in respect of this transaction, and that is the right answer. And what is the reason? The reason is it is with effect from 1st October 20 only. Since the payment is made on 1st September 2020, TCS is not required to be collected, and that is the right answer. So option A is the right answer here. I hope that is also clear for you. Again, friends, without wasting time, let's surf forward. It is the next question, question 4. What is the amount of tax to be collected from Mr. Pranav in respect of remittance of amounts overseas for his sons or daughters' education? So let's read out the relevant paragraph. Sons and daughters' education. All right. So for the payment which is transferred for the purpose of sons and daughters' education, what is the amount of TCS required to be collected by the person? So let's check it out. Please listen. So it says he also took an education loan of 15 lakhs on 1/2/2021 from State Bank of India, that is Madam Kama Road, Mumbai, for his son's 2-year Master of Public Administration program in Columbia University, USA, and remitted the said amount through the same bank, which is an authorized dealer under liberalized remittance scheme of RBI. So friends, we will note this down. This is in relation to a payment made by Mr. Harshit. So Mr. Harshit, he took an education loan from India. Education loan from India. All right. And how much was the amount? The amount is of 15 lakhs. So the total amount is 15 lakhs. And what he does after taking the loan, he transferred that particular amount through State Bank of India branch, which is in India, to outside India under liberalized remittance scheme. If you are not sure about the LR scheme, liberalized remittance scheme, friends, please don't forget to check out my video in my YouTube channel, because I've detailedly explained what exactly is this LRS and how that TCS works. All right. So now he remitted it through the State Bank of India Mumbai branch to his son's account, which is in USA, for his education. So he took a loan from India and transferred it through the SBI bank to the son's account. So it is also covered under section 206C1G. And what it says, so let's have a brief on 206.1G, friends. Please listen. So under 206C1G, TCS is required to be collected in the following ways. As you can see it from this particular column, please listen. The amount and purpose of remittance and the rate of TCS. This is the rate chart under 206C1G. So where the amount is remitted for a purpose other than purchase of overseas tour program package, and the amount of aggregate of the amount being remitted by the buyer is less than 7 lakhs in a financial year, then TCS is not required. So it simply means under liberalized remittance scheme, you are transferring. What is this LRS? I will explain by a very brief way. I will explain it. Say friends, for example, I have some money here. I want to transfer it to my friend's account or my relative's account or my own account, which is in overseas. All right. So I want to transfer my amount in India to my overseas account. So normally it have to be done only by taking permission from RBI, because you cannot simply transfer some amount from India to an overseas account. It is not possible. Normally you have to take an RBI sanction. But there is a scheme called liberalized remittance scheme issued by the CG, and as per the scheme, up to 250,000 US dollars every year you can transfer for specified transactions which are listed under this particular scheme. Say for example, if you want to buy a house overseas, it has been listed as a specified purpose. So what you can do, every year, even without a special sanction, you can transfer up to 250,000 US dollars from India to your overseas account for purchasing your property, house property, because that purchasing house property is a listed activity. Hope you're getting the point. So LRS simply means you need not take special RBI sanctions for every transfer which is listed in the scheme. For those transfers, every year you can transfer up to $250,000. That is what LRS is all about. Now the point, under LRS, you need to transfer the amount from India to overseas through a authorized dealer. Authorized dealer means your State Bank, ICICI, your scheduled banks that comes under this authorized dealer category. And JP Morgan Chase, etc., financial institutions are also there under this AD1 category list. So you can transfer the amount from India through a authorized dealer. Say for example, a bank. While transferring this amount, if the aggregate amount is more than 7 lakhs, then that dealer is supposed to collect a TCS over and above 7 lakhs. Say for example, I'm transferring 10 lakhs in a year. All right. So I'm transferring 10 lakhs through my authorized dealer in India to outside India for the purpose of this specified LRS scheme, which is specified under LRS scheme. What I'm supposed to do? The authorized dealer, I'm not supposed to do anything. The authorized dealer who's transferring this amount is supposed to collect TCS under 206C1G at the rate of 5% normally over and above 7 lakhs. So if I'm transferring 10, over and above 7 means extra 3 lakhs. For that 3 lakhs, authorized dealer is supposed to collect an additional amount on 5% on the transaction. That means 3 lakhs into 5%. When I'm transferring 10 lakhs, 3 lakhs into 5%, it would be 15,000 rupees have to be collected by the authorized dealer for transferring this amount. And this 15,000 will be remitted by the authorized dealer to the central government account, which is known as TCS. I hope you're getting my point. Now the question, when the amount is transferred for a purpose other than overseas tour program package, TCS is nil up to 7 lakh transfer. Up to 7 lakh, you don't need to pay additional TCS to the authorized dealer. That is point number 1. Point number 2, where the amount is remitted for a purpose other than purchase of overseas tour program package, and the amount or aggregate of the amount is in excess of 7 lakh is remitted by the buyer in a financial year, then 5% is TCS is required to be paid on the amount in excess of 7. That's what I said. When you're transferring 10, over and above 7, you need to, over and above 7, on that amount, you need to pay an extra 5% as TCS to the AD, authorized dealer. And the authorized dealer have to subsequently make this payment to the central government, and the SSE, while filing return, can take it as a tax credit. All right. Again, so here, so if you are transferring an amount for a purpose other than overseas tour program package, then up to 7, you need not pay any TCS. Over and above 7, 5% TCS. And there is one more relaxation, where the amount being remitted out is a loan obtained from any financial institution for the purpose of pursuing any education, and the amount or aggregate of the amount is in excess of 7 lakh is remitted by the buyer in a financial year, then the rate of TCS is a bit different. What is the rate? It is 0.5% of the amount or aggregate of the amount in excess of 7 lakhs. So friends, the point is, if I'm an Indian, I've taken an education loan here, and I'm transferring that education loan for the purpose of my relative's education overseas. If I'm transferring that, then normally over and above 7 lakhs, TCS is required to be collected under 206C1G. And what is the rate? 5%. But if the amount transferred is an education loan, then the government has reduced the rate of TCS. And what is the rate of TCS? Only 0.5% is the rate of TCS. That means when I'm transferring the amount, and the amount is an education loan, and it is for the purpose of an overseas education, then the authorized dealer is supposed to collect only 0.5% as what? As a TCS. So that is all the theory area. Now let's get back to the question. All right, so here Mr. Harshit has transferred 15 lakhs, which is education loan for the purpose of, it is actually an education loan taken from India, and it has been transferred for the purpose of his son's education. So the total amount is 15. So on that 15 lakhs, for 7 lakhs, TCS is not required to be collected. On that 7, TCS is actually not required to be collected. Over and above 7, what is the over and above 7 figure? That will be 8 lakhs. Over and above 7, that means on the 8 lakhs, TCS is required to be collected. And what is the rate? 0.5% is the rate. That is 1. So the total TCS would be 8 lakh into 0.5%. It would be 4,000 rupees have to be collected by the bank. That means SBI. That is point number 1. So I will mark this 4,000 first. Then it's not over. There is one more transfer is in relation to his daughter's education. And what is that? For his daughter's MBA education, that we will write it with a different font. For his daughter's MBA education in Law State University, USA, he remitted 12 lakhs on 15/2/2021 out of his personal savings through Bank of India, Bandra branch, Mumbai, which is also authorized dealer under LRS. So there is another transfer under this LRS. And what is that transfer? He transferred, and how much is the sum? 12 lakhs, right? He transferred 12 lakhs from his savings. So Mr. H transferred 12 lakhs for his savings through which bank? Through Bank of Baroda, right? Sorry, Bank of India. Through Bank of India. Through Bank of India. Through Bank of India. And on which date? On 15/2/2021. This has been transferred on 15/2/2021. So the purpose is daughter's education. Daughter's education. So this 12 lakhs is actually not an education loan. That 12 lakhs is transferred from his savings. So what need to be done? This Bank of India over and above 7 lakhs. So on the 12, over and above 7 means how much will be the amount? It will be 5 lakhs. On that 5 lakhs, Bank of India is required to collect TCS at 5% because this is not an education loan. The amount has been transferred for the purpose of education, but if it is an education loan, then only 0.5%. If it is not an education loan, that means the amount is transferred from his personal savings. So the rate will be 5% itself. So on that 5 lakhs into 5%, it would be 25,000 rupees. That will be the TCS amount, and I will mark that as well. So that is the answer to that question. Now let's pick the correct option from the options given below. What are the options? So option A, TCS at 0.5% on 8 lakh and 5 lakh are attracted in respect of remittance of sons and daughters education. That is wrong. All right. So option number 1 is not right. TCS at 5% on 8 lakh and 5 lakh are attracted in respect of remittance of sons and daughters education. That is also wrong. TCS at 0.5% on 8 lakh. TCS at 0.5% on 8 lakh. Okay, that is right. Then, and TCS at 5% on 5 lakh. So let's check. TCS 5% on 5 lakh for daughter's purpose. 5% on 5 lakh is in respect of remittance for son and daughter's education respectively. And the answer is option C. All right. So the right answer to that particular question is option C. Moving forward with question number 5. What is question number 5? Are TCS provision attracted in respect of remittance of gift to sister? If so, what is the amount of tax to be collected from Mr. Pranav? All right. So let's check it out. It is based on, the last paragraph. All right. So what is it related to? Mr. Pranav also remitted 6 lakhs on 28/3/2021 out of his personal savings under LRS through Bank of India. Through Bank of India, he already made a transfer. And how much was the transfer? It was around 12 lakhs for the purpose of his daughter's education. Now he transferred again in a sum of 6 lakhs through the same bank for the purpose, it is a gift to his sister for celebrating her 50th birthday. My God, it's a very expensive gift, right? For celebrating 50th birthday, transferring 6 lakhs is a huge sum. That is not our concern anyways. We have to check whether TCS is applicable there or not. So we already made a transfer through this Bank of India, and Mr. H is again transferring 6 lakhs rupees through the same Bank of India. On which date, friends? So let's check the date as well, because the date is very important here. 28/3/2021. So the date is 28/3/2021, March 21st. All right. So he transfers, and what is the purpose? For celebrating the 50th birthday and all. So already he transferred an amount of 12 lakhs and taken the benefit of 7 lakhs. For this 6 lakhs transfer, full amount of 6 lakhs, TCS is required to be collected at 5% by the BOI, that means Bank of India. So on 6 lakhs into 5%, it would be 30,000 rupees have to be collected by Bank of India as TCS, and it have to be paid to the credit of CG. Why? There is no benefit of 7 lakh, because say it is in relation to one person, one-to-one transaction. That means Mr. H has already transferred an amount through Bank of India. That means on that transfer, he have taken the benefit of 7 lakhs already. So once the benefit of 7 lakhs is crossed, over and about that amount, for every amount TCS is required to be collected. I'll give you one more example. Say instead of Bank of India, he has another branch in ICICI Bank. He has an account in ICICI Bank, and say they are also an authorized dealer. Suppose he is transferring this 6 lakhs through the third bank, that is ICICI Bank, then TCS under 206C 1G is not required to be collected. So with every AD, you will get the benefit of 7 lakh. Hope it is clear for you. All right. That's what it is given in the column. So please listen again. It has been specifically given here. So please listen, friends. Look at this point, where the amount is remitted for a purpose other than purchase of overseas tour program package, and the amount or aggregate the amount in excess of 7 lakh is remitted by a buyer in a financial year, then the authorized dealer is supposed to collect TCS over and above 7 lakh at the rate 5%. So with every authorized dealer, you will get the benefit of 7 lakh. If it exceeds that 7 lakh, then TCS is definitely required to be collected by the authorized dealer by remitting any amount under LRS. I hope it is clear. So let's move on to the option. We haven't selected the right option. And the options given here: no, since remittance is out of personal savings, it is wrong. No, since remittance sister is less than 7 lakhs, it is also wrong. No due reason stated A or B, no, it's also wrong. And option D is the right option. That is yes. On that transfer, TCS is required to be collected by the authorized dealer, then the amount is rupees 30,000. I hope that is also clear for you. So that is the end of the first paragraph based MCQ question. 1 to 5 questions are actually over.